Bang! Neeves knives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife Kara is busy, and in this video we're going over 10 amazing medium-sized knives. Now, when I think of a medium-sized knife, I think of between 3 and 3¼ inch blade length. Now, there are variables. Some knives are gonna differ in size. You know, like a 3¼ inch blade length could be on a large size knife. It just depends on the overall build, the handle, you know, so on and so forth. But we'll get more into it when we get down to the table, so let's check it out. So to me, the Kizer Sheepdog would be a great example of a knife that is large, but still has a 3¼ inch blade. Its overall size and depth and grip and ergos is just more like a full-size, larger size knife, in my opinion. So what's a good example of a small knife, or like a 3-inch blade, that's considered a little smaller to me? That'd be like the Savio Pintail. The Savio Pintail, even though it still has a 3-inch blade, I can only get a 3-finger grip on it. I can't get a full grip on it because the flipper tab pushes me down. Now, a knife with the exact same size, but I get a full grip on it, is the Sen Cut Scepter. They're the exact same length, but with the Scepter, I can get a full grip because the flipper tab doesn't push me down the handle like this one, like the Pintail does. So I can take advantage of this little choil area, but it just didn't make it to the list for the medium-sized knives. I would consider this just under a medium-sized knife. It'd be more of a smaller size knife for my hand. But the Scepter, on the other hand, this thing has an amazing blade shape, great for utility cuts and slicing, great ergos, great in the pocket, and I love it. I think it has great action with its ceramic bearings, micarta handles, deep carry clip. It just works really good. The Pintail is also amazing, but that one just works a little bit better in my hand. Next up, we have the Terzola drop knife. Now, I forget the number on it. I think it's like the ATCF or something like that. But it, in my opinion, is a great medium-sized knife. Now, normally it has a disc right here. I have mine removed for a couple different reasons. One is because I did sharpen it up to not quite a chisel grind, but if you look on this side, I have a mirror finish on this side, and the edge is laid back to 15 degrees. Now, on the other side, it's only like 22 degrees. So it's almost like a chisel, but not quite a chisel because it is sharpened on the other side. But ever since I put this edge on this knife, this thing cuts as if it has amazing blade geometry, which it does not. One of my complaints in the review of this knife was that it does not have good blade geometry. But with the sharpening grind like this, man, this thing cuts like a champ. Now, it cuts like it's 10 thousandths behind the edge. The ergos are great. It's titanium, has titanium liners, G10 scales, titanium clip, and yeah, just a great knife. S35 VN blade steel. Next up, now it's kind of hard to talk about a good medium-sized knife without talking about the Para 3, whether it's the lightweight or the regular version. Now, they do have the regular version in G10. You can get scales, there's so much you can do to these knives. There's so many parts out there. It does run on the compression lock, which is very fidgety. The action's amazing. Now, this one's Floydians. That's why you see the clip being carried left-handed on it. Now, I haven't quite gotten to testing on this one yet, but I used to have a Para 3 myself. The only difference is this one's in Spy 27 steel. Great budget for these two, because this one's the one with the FRN scales. You can get these for a great price. At least the FRN versions. Next up, I might as well bring it up because I just got done sharpening it. The Spyderco Yo Jimbo. Now, this one I kind of do consider a full-size knife. I mean, it is a full-size knife, but it's only a 3-inch blade. I think it's like a 3 1/8. It's not even 3¼ inch blade. I mean, but very useful utility cutting blade. This was originally designed for self-defense and fighting, but man, the action on this thing, it does have the compression lock like the last knife. And this is just a great example of a well-built Yo Jimbo. This one's in 20 CV, and I just did a sharpening job on it if you want to see how you do a tip repair on a knife. Next up, we have... Now, this is kind of an iconic knife. I probably shouldn't even have it on this list, but I do. The Savio Momentum. It's kind of hard to talk about a great medium-sized knife without talking about the Savio Momentum. It's just a great example of a medium-sized knife. This one is the older one, the one that's in D2, but I do have the S35VN version that has a little bit thinner blade stock, but just a great knife, man. And I do like this one a lot. This one has the brown micarta scales and nice deep hollow grind, just cuts like a champ. Love, love, love this knife. This is probably one of the best gift knives you can get somebody. Next up, the Wii Kite Fin. Now, speaking about geometry, this thing has amazing geometry. Very, very thin blade stock with very thin behind the edge. It cuts so good. Now, it does also have a nice finger trail that you can choke up really close to. S35VN blade steel, titanium handles. It is a frame lock, deep carry clip, beautiful titanium hardware, and Wii just does a fantastic job with everything between their hardware, their action, their build quality. This one's running on ceramic bearings with a ceramic detent. Super smooth, very, very nice action. Great, great knife right there. Next up, I got to talk about this one because I got to give it away. So, not this one, but this one. The Burgundy Micarta Acebiblio, the Giant Mouse Acebiblio. What a great medium-sized knife. You can get such a good grip on it with this finger choil. Now, without the finger choil, it is a 3-finger knife to me, but it does have the finger choil. Now, with mine, I modded it. I cut off the flipper tab to get a little bit better ergos. All I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to put my finger over the flipper tab. But the action, amazing. Now, this is a great representation of the Giant Mouse Acebiblio because I think React did this one. But the lockup's good, the action's good. It still has a very strong detent, so it still needs to be broken in. But I'll let the winner from the Patreon giveaway break it in. M390, like I said, micarta, deep carry wire clip. Man, what a great knife. Crown spine. Yeah, awesome, awesome knife. Great micarta too. Great blade shape, great all around. Now, I almost can't talk about great medium-sized knives without talking about these next ones because these next 3 are awesome. And this one I just recently got, the Kuby Vagrant. Now, what makes this knife so great is because it has a 3-inch blade with a full grip. I can get a full grip on it. And the reason why is because it does not have a flipper tab. You use the hole. So you can thumb flick it, you can reverse flick it. It's very, very nice. The detent's very nice. It is titanium and OS 10. OS 10 is very easy to sharpen and it takes a heck of an edge. I mean, it takes a ridiculously sharp edge. Love OS 10 and very, very smooth, man. Just great build quality on this Kuby. Love it, love it, love it. The clip works good. And it's just a good knife, man. Just a good knife, especially for the compact medium size. Now, this one and the next one, which are the last 2, are possibly my favorite medium-sized knives as of right now. So we have the Hinder XM18 3-inch. This one is also the same knife, just with the flipper, because this one has the flipper delete. It has no flipper tab, which I do like the flipperless one a little bit better, but I love the scales on this tie one. I love the scales on this thing. This thing is awesome, and it has the fuller for you to do the reverse flick. The detent is a little bit stronger on this one, and this one, man, is so fidgety, and you can get such good ergos from this. The grip on it is great. It's only a 3-inch blade, so for such a small compact knife to get a full grip on, and even if I don't use that choil, I can still get a full grip on it. But I love it without the flipper tab, because even though I can get a full grip right here, the flipper tab does kind of push you down a little bit. So it's better to put your finger over the flipper tab. Love this knife so much. This one's in burgundy micarta, titanium, 20 CV, and just a great knife, man. Love the XM18 3-inch. I love all the Hinder XM18s. I do have the 3.5 and the XM24. Now this last knife, I absolutely love this knife. The Tuya NV2. This is the DW2. I have the first one. This one's the one with the drop point, but in my opinion, it's more of a straight back because it doesn't have a lot of drop. It has a little bit more belly, but it has a deep, thin hollow ground blade, compound grind because it's flat up here, so for a little bit harder use. The ergos just melt in your hand. Great ergos, and the action, this literally feels like I mean, I'm not saying this is cheap because this thing's like $220, but it feels like a way higher end production knife. It feels like a $500 production knife, if not more. I mean, it really does. And if you listen to any other reviewer talk about it, they all say that same thing. It just has a build quality and action of a way higher price point. If you have $200 and you want to feel the best quality you can feel, this is a great example of that. Now, it is all titanium hardware, and love the milling. It's very light because it has all the milling done on the inside and all around here. Very nice. Like I said, lots of milling on the inside. Very thin hollow grind M390. Great example of a medium size knife. 3¼ inch blade. So full grip, nice blade length, very useful blade shape, and just blade all around. Love this knife a lot, and I love you guys. Peace.